Final topic. Just a nice fun one to end on. Best Star Wars parody of them all. It doesn't have to, a movie, TV show, quick reference, skit, sketch, anything.
Robot Chicken Souls.
The Force Awakens.
Oh, that's good. That's genius.
I was sitting on that for like 20 minutes. I'm just like, I've got it.
God damn. That's the funniest thing you've ever said.
Yeah, it's like
This is
George Lucas.
Josh.
Alright,
Wow,
shit.
that's great.
No, I'd probably have to go with Robot Chicken. They've done some amazing things.
I thought I was going to be the only one who said Robot Chicken, but already 2 other people have said Robot
Dude,
Chicken.
that's
say
what
Robot
makes
Chicken,
Star
Family
Wars
Guy.
is all the parody. That's the only reason you need to watch those movies is to get all the
get all
jokes
the
from the
parodies.
parodies. That's like the half the reason I watch old movies. Is like I watched like
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange or Blade Runner, and I was like, so many Simpsons episodes are making sense to me now. Or something like that. Like everyone just references it.
Yeah.
And like the Robot Chicken. The best thing to me about those Robot Chicken parodies is they'll take something. Like
some
mundane some robot that's on screen for like 2 seconds,
Yeah.
they'll flesh him out into a whole story.
Yeah.
Like what is it, Bot MD or whatever, where it's like I was like I had to ask him, like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
is
the-
this robot?
the little
And he's like, oh, he's in like one scene. I'm like, really? And it's like he's in the background and he's like and like he's like what does he say? It's like
He's like
lost the will to live. It's like you a sad sack, a bunch of hippies. He's like we live in the future. Like use your medical equipment.
No, I like all the other like mundane shit you just don't think about in the Death Star, like holding the elevator for the Emperor, and, like, or up the escalators and stuff.
Yeah, oh, it's so good.
Emperor.
It's almost
Emperor.
It's like that Eddie Izzard, the Eddie Izzard
Eddie
comedy
Izzard's
sketch
like that,
about
yeah.
the Death Star canteen. He's like, surely there would have been a canteen on the Death Star, and he does like a whole.
Well, there's like 10,000 people there. People would have been eating
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, there probably would have been more than one then. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
That reminds me
He does.
of,
He does a whole bit about it. It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Was it Jimmy Fallon or something? There was a skit where they got Adam Driver as Kylo Ren to go underground.
Oh, there was! Undercover
as
Boss.
Undercover Boss.
that was
That,
so
that
good.
was really clever.
That shows off Adam Driver's like acting ability because I don't think he's not. I don't think he's got enough.
Well, he's certainly not
He's
at his
not-
best
we haven't
in
seen
Force
enough of
Awakens.
him.
He's
I
not
don't
got enough
think.
leeway. Like, I was so excited because he's in that show Girls,
yeah.
and I remember I was like, he's the worst character. I hate him. To like, I'm like, this is the best character because he's just such a multi-layered, dynamic character.
Oh.
And Adam Driver's so like intense and awesome.
I just
and
had a
was
brain.
expecting that, but yeah, in that
Yeah.
maintenance one, yeah.
The maintenance one.
Scar
Yeah.
in episode 8.
Oh, the
they've
scar
moved it.
changes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Because it's
couldn't
like in
care
the
less.
way of the... I don't know.
Of
No,
his
'cause
beautiful face,
in
yeah.
episode 7,
face.
it goes straight up the middle, and it just looked shit. So they moved it like 2 or 3 centimeters to the left or something to go over his eye, and it looks better. And it's not like they've sort of just put this little cut here instead of the whole thing up his face
Yeah.
to. Yeah,
Just shifted
it's a
it.
minor
Force.
grievance, but they should have just done it better in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
what's the scar
That's
gonna look
true.
like? Oh, it looks shit. Move to the left. Okay, done.
That
You
does
know,
look
or
kinda
even
weird.
or even fixing it up with CGI to do it. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Back to
Alas. So
the
parodies,
parodies. Yeah,
Spaceballs
I
has
was
to be
gonna
up
go
there.
with Skit.
yeah.
Oh wow,
That's
yeah.
true.
Spaceballs is awesome.
Spaceballs is amazing, and it's so much funnier. Like in retrospect, like you can quote that movie for like years after watching it.
I need to rewatch
I
that
mean,
one. Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
the main parody is Star Wars, but they spoof a shit ton of stuff in
Sorry.
Spaceballs.
Oh, Spaceballs. Yeah,
Like
well they
Star
do.
Trek,
Uh,
Alien,
Planet of the Apes.
Superman, Planet of the
Yeah,
Apes,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
That movie's
It's
great.
just basically it's just a sci-fi parody because he also it's Mel Brooks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mel Brooks. He also did Blazing Saddles, which is just a Western parody.
And then Robin Hood Men
Men in
Tights,
Tights.
and Young
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Oh.
Young Frankenstein.
Actually, I haven't seen it.
He was so far ahead of his time in terms of bringing all these like tropes together and just like making fun of it.
And
which
doing
is-
well, yeah.
And they're just so funny.
But it takes a few views to actually fully.
to pick them all up.
Oh, not just that, but to fully appreciate it. Like the first time I watched
Yeah.
Star like
I lent
Spaceballs,
it
I
to
was
you,
just
didn't
like,
I?
you know, this is awful, and then I'd talk about it, and oh, it's pretty funny. I'll watch it again, and you know,
Because
there's
I
a lot
think I
more
lent that
respect
to you
and
in
stuff
high
come-
school. And you,
Yeah,
you
did.
came to me the next day and you're like, why'd you make me watch that stupid film? I'm like, don't you remember the bit about like merchandising? And you were like, oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what about the father's brother, sister's nephew,
Yeah.
former roommate's cousin? And you were like, oh yeah.
Or it's like, is it,
And then he was laughing his head off for like the rest of the
yeah,
day.
It's all the same as like we have to comb the desert, and they're like,
Yeah, they had the giant combs.
I had the same thing with Borat. I mean, Borat is a completely different. But like, I watched it the first time. I was disgusted. What the fuck? And then I'd talk about it, with people and find myself laughing at things, and then I come back to it and it's
I said this to you guys. I think the last one you were on, I think we talked about that with Family Guys. I don't find that show funny.
Yeah.
But then I talked to friends and we referenced it, and I'm like laughing, and I'm like, it's this weird type of comedy. I don't know what it is.
I love Family Guy.
Well,
they're Blue Harvest.
Segue.
Blue
Family Guy,
Harvest.
Blue Harvest.
The first
And,
one's
that's-
okay,
oh,
but they get progressively
Something
worse.
dark side.
Something.
They
I
get
think I
progressively
only ever
worse.
watched the first one. And it was,
The third one was terrible, and they
What was the third one
even
called?
called it out. Like on the scroll, they literally say like,
Oh, we
didn't
run out of
wanna-
ideas,
We didn't
yeah.
want to do this, but Fox insisted. So like, we didn't even like try.
Yeah.
But here you go, and I was like, are you serious?
But that's
And
part of the
it-
comedy as well.
I
Like,
guess, but it's like it still didn't make it good. Like it was still
it's
shit.
pretty bad.
And like the fact, that's what I always talk about. You can't just call something out. You have to fix the problem.
Yeah.
If your house is on fire, you can't just be like, my house is on fire. That doesn't fix the problem. And like I keep seeing that things like they think it's like I've been reading about this is in Star Wars. This new game came out, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and apparently like all this annoying stuff from the Uncharted 4 is still in this one. But they call it out. So it's like, you have to move a crate somewhere and it's really tedious. But apparently the character's like, boy, this crate takes a while. And I'm like, that's not better. That's worse. That's like, just
You acknowledged it and
just
still put it there.
Yeah, you acknowledge that there's a problem. You still didn't fix the problem.
They took the time to program around it as well, like put in voices.
Blue
into
Harvest
it.
for me sort of emphasised that, like, as
Assholes.
much as you love episode 4, you can still do a supercut. Because like they didn't have the entire movie in there, and you got the gist of everything entirely. Like they covered everything with plenty of shitty sketches and bad jokes and like
The John Williams
everything
Orchestra, everybody.
Yeah, like
It was
all
odd
that,
that-
and it was just like wow, they really did a good job on on sort of trimming the fat and then some. But you'd never considered it before because you love episode 4 so much.
Have
Why
you guys
would
ever
trim?
seen Thumb Wars? They've
Oh,
done
maybe.
the
Only what
whole
you've told me
of
about it.
A New Hope made out of thumbs with little superimposed faces talking, and it's the funniest thing ever.
I think I've seen
When
a
they
clip.
draw the lightsabers, the nails come out and go zoom. Google, YouTube it. Yeah,
Did you
Thumb
ever see,
Wars.
this is old YouTube. Did you ever see, it was Darth Vader grocery store manager or something like that?
It's
What
like
was it?
Chad Vader or something.
Chad Vader, the grocery
Yeah.
store
Chad
manager. It's
Vader.
like him, and it's like he runs a grocery store, and it's like, but it's just Darth Vader. And there's like the opening scene is like him walking down the aisles like hello, hello, and then like he like goes like the falls and he gets like an apple and he's like and then puts it down. It's like it's very straight, but it's like it's just really weird comedy, and it's like he like has a crush on like one of the other employees, but she thinks he's weird and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's real strange. It's like old YouTube. There's so
It
many
is.
Star Wars parodies. I mean,
Yeah.
every movie
There are so many.
has like a Star Wars parody. You're gonna judge me on this. When I was a kid, yeah, you just brought it right up. Toy Story 2, there's the line where Buzz is like,
Oh, yeah.
Zurg's like,
Yeah.
he's like, you killed my father, and
I am
Zurg's
your
like, I
yeah.
am your father.
Yeah.
I was like, I watched Star Wars after that
Right.
because I'm a young kid, and like. When I was watching Star Wars Episode 5 for the first time, I was like, they copied Toy Story 2! And my dad and my mum were just like, you're an idiot. Shut up.
I'm so disappointed.
We've raised a joke of a son. Yeah.
So that's why your parents don't talk to you, right? Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, my dad went to the shops one day and he
He's going to be back any minute with that pack of cigarettes. Shout out to my parents. They raised me right.
They showed you 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. We
That's
went
the
to the
other-
Australian premiere of Phantom Menace.
The only-
I'm on TV at age like 6 or 7, saying to the camera. They interviewed me. They were like, "Hey, you're like the only kid here. What do you think of it?" It's like, it's a little bit scary. It's a true story. We've got footage of it somewhere. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
See, I only saw 2 and 3 in cinema. They showed them on TV one time. My dad recorded 4, 5, 6 like on VHS, and so like we watched it all the time, and it still had the ads. So it's like old ads. We like have to fast forward through them.
Oh,
and stuff like
wow.
that.
Oh wow!
Sometimes if I was quick enough, I would learn to like you stop recording during the ads and you start recording again once it's back. Like yeah, and I remember being like, oh, number 4 is called A New Hope. And my dad was like, I don't remember it being called A New
Well, when
Hope.
it came out, it was called.
It was just
Episode
Star
1.
Wars. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
when
just
they
Star
did
Wars. decide
decide to call it A New Hope. I guess when the prequels were announced.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we should probably wrap up because of time.
Yeah. Well,
I just remembered
it's a
one-
Robot Chicken then, I guess.
Yeah, I was at
one
Robot
last.
Chicken.
Yeah.
I don't know if this classifies as a parody or not, but one of my favorite little clips, one that you sent me, was every time the lightsabers touch each other, it's Owen Wilson going, "Wow, wow, wow," hour, and it's just 2.5 minutes of the best thing
Well,
that
you know
I've
what the
ever
crazy thing
seen.
is? There's some fascination about putting lightsabers over swords. Every time there's a fight scene, like every
Arya and
every
Brienne
Game
is
of
most
Thrones,
recent.
it was like Jon Snow and so
Yeah.
fighting. It's like
With lightsabers.
but with lightsabers. 7 million views.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it really that like amazing?
Impressive. All you
to-
did was
is it-
colour
is
the
it
blade.
really
It's
that
not as
impressive?
fight.
No, that's what
It's just
I'm
the
saying.
fight scene, but it's just lightsabers. Like
It's just
I know.
glowing. That's
It's
it.
quick. It's
I don't know if
quirky,
you
I guess.
just-
I don't know.
I don't know. Would you sort of give it that extra level of danger then in your head? Like, oh, it's so much more intense because they could lose a whole arm.
Am I really that?
See,
Am
no.
I really? I'm like, it's like he's in Star Wars. Am I really that like buying into it? I don't.
Well,
I don't
Brienne-
They edited it to make
Brienne,
it look
maybe.
like somebody did a force push.
I don't know. I was gonna maybe leave us
Brienne,
with this.
hey, nice.
I like what you said about that early like memory of like you at the Star Wars premiere, and I was gonna maybe we can go around the table real quick and just say like one of the earliest memories of Star Wars.
Yeah, okay.
Because I remember even before I watched Star Wars, my uncle. This is like years and years ago. This is like when we first moved out to Australia. It probably was in like 2000 or whenever Star Wars 1 came out, but it was on DVD. My
Oh, it
uncle
was like
got
90
he got Star Wars 1 Episode 1 Phantom Menace on DVD,
Yeah.
and he was like playing it for everyone, and I had no idea what it was. And I was like, "What is it like, Dad?" And I was like, "Oh, Star Wars." And I remember like it's like one of the opening scenes, and Obi-Wan's fighting, and he goes like that,
Yeah.
and the droids fly back, and I'm like, I was like, what? I was like, what did he do? I was like, he just put his hand out and they went flying. And my dad was like, it's the Force. It's like, I'll tell you about it when we get home. Or like, we'll watch all the movies. I had no idea.
It's also the only instance you ever see them use force speed. Like they bolt down that hallway, and like I mean, how many times would that have been useful ever in the rest of the movies? Yeah, yeah. Oh,
I don't
destroyers,
remember
and then they
that.
go super speed down the hallway.
I do not remember that.
In the original take, like the effects were so bad.
It's so
It just looked like
I do
blurry
remember it. It
people
looks
running.
like it just like sped up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Flash on
I love
TV
that.
looks. has,
Bring
like,
it up,
badass
Google,
special
man.
effects.
but yeah. So
All right,
that's,
earliest memories then. Can I quickly go? I'll go next because I want to just amend mine. It might not have been the Australian premiere. It was like the premiere at that cinema. I'm not 100% sure. I was very small, but
he's changing his story.
well, I
Can
can't
we believe
remember.
him
I'm
at
just
all
not sure
now?
of the details. Okay, but
Is
one
it
of
about Star Wars?
one of my favorite memories of Star Wars is, and this is very nostalgic. When I went to school in Doncaster, I had a lot of friends who were also Star Wars nerds, like myself. We were just all nerds, and we would like after school, like on a Friday, we'd be like, "Hey, who's doing stuff tomorrow? No one? Sweet," because we're all 12 years old. We don't have anything on. I was just like, yeah, everyone would come over. We would watch like Star Wars. We did that like every weekend. It was amazing. It was great. And we'd play Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're just going
Those were
around
the
table.
days, early 2000s.
All right, go ahead. Mine's really quick.
Yeah,
I think I've only it would have been when I watched number.
His earliest memory of Star Wars was from like 3 weeks ago.
I was just thinking about it. Yeah, so he's like last year. Someone was like, "Hey, watch this." Oi, Felix, come watch Force Awakens with me. He's like, "What's
My
that?"
earliest memory it
What's
was
Force
having to pay
Awakens?
for the ticket, and then like it came on the screen. I'm like, why am I reading this? No,
Earliest
And
memories of watching Blue
I think
Harvest.
I went with like my cousins or something, and like 2 of them got sick and were like vomiting in the bathroom while I was watching the movie.
This is why you don't
so I
like
was
Star Wars.
unattended in this movie theater while my mum was looking after my cousins. I'm pretty sure that was.
My dad tells a story like that. My brother, like episode 2, it's like finally we get to the Colosseum. All the Jedi's got their lightsabers.
Oh,
out, all
no.
the droids come. My little like brother would have been like 4, some obnoxious age, and he was like, "I need to go pee." And my dad was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
Is that just
Hold-
go? Just
go.
go.
Fuck
he
on,
was like,
tell me.
how old, how young? It's like, will I get like arrested if he just goes by himself or something? Like he was like, "God damn, it's fine." He had to take him out and then like
You
run
you're
back.
peeing here.
Yeah.
Just get him to pee into like
just
the
go in
Coke
just go in
scene.
the bottle. Yeah,
In the Coke bottle, yeah.
I just
Oh.
sat through like half an hour of horrible love scenes.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
What about you, Josh?
Oh, my earliest memory, like we had the special
He
edition,
came
like
out
the
of the
3
womb quoting
VHS,
Star Wars.
4, 5, 6 with like the picture of Vader across the 3 backs of the video, like fancy pants in the box and everything. I've still got it at home actually somewhere. Watched that a million times as a kid, like before I could even understand what was happening. That was the greatest thing. And we were in Melbourne for a holiday, see some people do whatever. And then it was a surprise, like, episode 1 had just come out. So it was just like, another day of, doing boring shit. Like we went to the zoo with like the old like Kodak disposable cameras,
yeah.
wound it up, like, that was all fun. And then everything else is like, go see people, go do this. When you're a kid, if you're not playing, everything's boring. And then it's just like, hey, look what's at the movies. Oh yeah, the movies. Episode 1. Fucking you just straight up, straight into
Josh.
it, got into
Fuck
it.
yeah, Mum!
And then like sitting there best thing of my life. I can't even remember what the cinema looked like. I just remember watching episode 1 and then coming out the other end just like, it was amazing, like, you know, pod racing.
Let's go straight back in.
Because when you're this big, you know, like that sort of stuff is just mind-boggling.
And it's a great movie in retrospect.
It's amazing how much shit you can sit through when you're a kid, though.
Yeah,
as well.
it
Like,
is,
episode 2, this episode 2 especially, I'm just like, how did I sit
And on
through this?
repeat as well, you just watch it over and
Yeah,
over
you
again.
do. And I'm like,
I've got a lot of...
they are long movies. They're all like 2 hours, over 2 hours. And
like you can't get anyone these days to sit still for 2 hours.
No,
like,
you can't.
45 minutes is my max, yeah.
We tried doing it.
Children.
We tried marathoning it one time. We were like, we're gonna watch all the Star Wars.
Yeah, we did that.
And then someone here's
Becca,
the
Mitchell, like they're just...
Don't call him out on it. Yeah, we gotta no, let's call him out.
Can I
We gotta
guess-
make
yeah.
his name is Mitchell, and every time he watches Star Wars, he's just like, politics. He's like, skip to the fights.
No, like the first time we ever did it, like it was the funniest thing because he showed no interest at all, and then we're all, you know, talking about Star Wars while Star Wars is on. It's like, oi, shh, politics. What? We all died laughing, and then he brings it up every time. It's like, it's funny the first time. You're not even watching it, you know.
What's the funny thing? I watched Force Awakens with some friends, and I think we just talked the whole time about Star Wars, not even watching it. Yeah, but the downfall that happened when we tried to...
How many times have you tried to end this?
Oh, we're gonna end it soon.
There's a few... Yeah, we're going...
We just
this
keep
is,
going.
this is
Okay.
the record-breaking longest podcast we've ever done.
Jeez.
We tried to marathon them all, and here was the moment I knew it wasn't going to happen. If someone was like, "Can we drink while we watch this?" And then everyone was like, "I don't see why not." And then we're like, "Yeah, let's all drink." So drinking away. Episode 1 we got through pretty good, and then we were smashed by halfway through episode 2. People can't sit still. My girlfriend at the time, she's up and dancing and stuff like that. Everyone just wants to move, and it was just like, fuck Star Wars. We want to go. Let's go to town and go out.
Yeah.
I was just like, nah, never gonna happen.
That's rough. That's rough.
Oh, anyway.
All right, let's end it there then.
Let's end it there.
Cool.
All right,
Thank you for
guys,
listening to
that's
us
been
talk about
Don't Leave
Star
Podcast
Wars.
episode 6 of the Star Wars theme podcast.
Thank you, Star Wars specialist Josh.
What a
Thank you.
crazy haluva of an episode. My God.
I'm an expert in the field.
I've gone through.
I've got to go write some
Star
papers to get my
Warsology.
PhD.
Oh,
I've gone through so many emotions. My God.
Yeah,
Star Wars
man.
does this to you. All right. See you
All right,
later, guys.
that's it.
That's the sign
See
of
ya.
a good movie, isn't it?
See you later, guys.
See ya.